Remember Nchi ya Kitu Kidogo?
Nchi ya Kitu Kidogo.
What about Daima Mkenya?
Najitolea Daima Kenya.
Both songs came from one man, Eric Wainaina. At his peak, Eric was not simply making hits. He was using his music to say things that many people were afraid to say. His songs challenged leaders and celebrated Kenya. At one point, he shook the Moi government. And that is not all. He was once warned to stop performing on stage in front of a sitting vice president. With no time, Eric built a career that took him from Kenya to the World Cup stage in South Africa. But somewhere along the way, he disappeared from the spotlight. No scandal, no headline collapse, just silence. So, what actually happened to Eric Wainaina? Is he still making music? Did the industry forget him? Or did he walk away from it? Stay until the end, because what he has been doing recently might surprise you. Long before Kenyans knew him for songs like Nchi ya Kitu Kidogo, Eric Wainaina's musical foundation was already being built.
My name is Eric Wainaina. I'm a singer and a songwriter from Nairobi, Kenya.
Born in Nairobi, Eric began with piano and choral music at an early age. But one of the first major turning points in his career came when he joined the acclaimed a cappella gospel group Five Alive. The group became successful in Kenya and even performed in Europe during the 1990s. But Eric wanted to make his music further. That journey eventually took him thousands of kilometers away from home to one of the world's best-known music schools, Berklee College of Music. Eric graduated with honors and received the Jack Ma Award for Songwriting Excellence. And while studying there, he worked on a song that will eventually become much bigger than just another track on an album. A song that many Kenyans today treat almost like a second national anthem, Daima Mkenya. But another song will give Eric an entirely different reputation, not simply as a musician, but as an artist willing to confront power. In 2001, Eric dropped his debut album, Sawa Sawa. It became one of Kenya's biggest selling solo albums.
The original idea for this video was that that we just wanted to show that we were sort of enjoying life and that sort of our dreams were coming true.
And hidden within that success was a song with a very uncomfortable message, Nchi ya Kitu Kidogo. Translated loosely, the title describes Kenya as a land of petty corruption.
Nchi ya Kitu Kidogo, nchi ya watu wadogo.
And people connected with it big time. Eric once told the BBC that people had even stopped calling him Eric on the streets. Instead, they called him Kitu Kidogo. But there was a problem. The same song ordinary Kenyans embraced was not exactly popular with those in power. KBC reportedly refused to air it, and Eric later faced an extraordinary moment during a public event attended by the then Vice President George Saitoti. According to Eric, they were told to stop performing the song, but something happened that made stopping it almost impossible. The crowd had already started singing.
So, Nchi ya Kitu Kidogo starts to play another track, and it has been getting some airplay. Saitoti is sitting there, right? The organizers begin to panic, right? There's a guy on the side of the stage, he's calling me, right? And they're like, hang on, we've started singing the song.
I ain't coming.
I'm not coming at kuja, whatever, you know?
This was during Daniel Arap Moi's presidency, when openly criticizing those in power could carry serious consequences.
But it turned out he was calling me because they were panicking. They're like, you can't sing this song in Moi's Kenya with the vice president sitting there.
And he wasn't finished yet. The success of Sawa Sawa album was followed by 2020 in 2006 and Love Plus Protest in 2011. But something interesting was happening to Eric's career. his music was beginning to expand beyond albums. He wrote and starred in the musical Mofire, which was staged in Nairobi's Gordon Arts Center before eventually reaching the New York Musical Theatre Festival in 2009. Then came television. In 2010, Eric wrote and produced music for Tinga Tinga Tales, the British-Kenyan animated children's series based on African folk tales.
Tinga 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 tinga, tinga tinga is a land.
The project consisted of 52 episodes and was commissioned for the BBC and Disney Channel. Years later, Tinga Tinga Tales would even be adapted for the stage and presented at New York's New Victory Theatre. So while some people might have been waiting for another Nchi ya Kitu Kidogo, Eric was quietly becoming much more than the guy behind a few famous songs. He was becoming a composer, musical director, theatre creator, and producer, and his work was traveling. Over the years, Eric has performed on stages across Africa and beyond, including the North Sea Jazz Festival, Sauti za Busara, and the Harare International Festival of the Arts. He collaborated with artists including Emmanuel Jal, Oliver Mtukudzi, and Frasha of P-Unit. In 2010, he was involved in music connected to the FIFA World Cup in South Africa. And in 2013, he performed during the Africa Cup of Nations opening ceremony. His work also brought major recognition. Among the accolades are a Kora Award for Best East African Artist, Kisima Awards, and an Mnet Award. In 2018, he received the Music in Africa Honorary Award, recognizing his contribution to music in Kenya and across the continent. But there is another side of Eric Wainaina's career that we must see. From Nchi ya Kitu Kidogo, one theme has followed Eric throughout his career. Music can say something. His social advocacy has included work with Transparency International Kenya, the Kenya Human Rights Commission, and the United Nations. In 2013, he was appointed a UN Environment Program Goodwill Ambassador. He has also been involved in projects such as 8 Goals for Africa, alongside major African musicians including Yuji Masekela, Angelique Kidjo, Baba Mal, Oliver Mtukudzi, and the Soweto Gospel Choir. And behind the scenes, Eric continued contributing to East African music.
How would you lead the march when it just rains on you? Those who finish are half, those who start, it rains on.
He served as a music director on Mnet, East Africa's Maisha Superstar, helping in a project created to discover new musical talent from the region. Which finally brings us back to the question we started with. Where is he today? Did Eric Wainaina disappear? No. The better question might be, did mainstream audiences simply stop looking? Because Eric Wainaina has continued making music. Recently, he has been working on new music, including Dek Dek Dek, a track featuring Kakuma Sounds, Shangri T9, and Sinaga Swaga. He has also released songs including Mabawa, Mariana, and Mama. And perhaps most importantly, he still performs. He is a regular at Blankets and Wines, where fans can once again hear some of his hit songs. So, Eric Wainaina did not simply vanish. His career evolved. Maybe that is why his story is so interesting. Because sometimes we assume an artist disappeared simply because we stopped hearing their latest songs everywhere. But longevity in music does not always mean staying at the center of pop culture. Sometimes it means finding new stages. More than 2 decades after Nchi ya Kitu Kidogo, Eric Wainaina is still creating, still performing, and still using music to tell Kenyan stories. But here is the interesting question. When you hear the name Eric Wainaina, which song immediately comes to mind? Nchi ya Kitu Kidogo, Daima Mkenya, or another Eric Wainaina classic? Tell us in the comments. And if you enjoy discovering what happened to Kenya's biggest stars and where they are today, subscribe to the channel. The next story might be about an artist you have not thought about in years. Thank you for watching.